Chodesh Tov, everybody. Chodesh Tov. Ah, okay. Thought you don't understand English. It's very dark and very humid. So I might have to start getting undressed very soon. Well, not all the way. I mean, just taking down the jackets. And I don't have to be that official, and I'd rather be less official and less sweat. So, you know what? I might even start like that, with your permission. We're outdoors. I mean, the people online can't see, but we're in this beautiful... I don't know even what it is.
Use the microphone on the jacket.
We're in this beautiful, huge gazebo. There's one fan there. So, but we'll soak in nature, right? The birds. It's not birds, it's crickets. Crickets. Whew! Okay, we're gonna have a very short lecture. I don't think this is enough water. If you see me fainting at some point, just some ice. Now I'm going to ask the people online because I hear an echo. Do you hear the sound good? Just some ice. Because maybe it's coming in a delay. That's maybe why. Ask the people online because I hear an echo. Okay, we'll start. If you can, from the people online, just to give me some thumbs up, at least I know to start. Echo, yeah, I hear the echo too. So you hear me twice. Maybe Hashem made it in such a way there'll be an echo that you hear it. You didn't get it the first time. I'll tell it to you another time. Yes, echo. Okay, echo. Yes, there's an echo. Okay, let's start. Hashem will, Bezrat Hashem, make the echo stop. And if not... Tov, Chodesh Tov, everybody. It's great to see you all. Thank you all for coming out in this heat. Where you can sit in the air-conditioned room, the people hear echoes. So, you get a very big reward just for your efforts. I was now here Shabbat by friends in Miami here in Plantation. So the walk to the shul was a very short walk, like 40 minutes, something like that. It wasn't that bad. I'm used to walking 40 seconds to my shul. I go out of my house and I take one breath and I'm already in my shul. Here it was 40 long breaths. So by the time that I came to the shul, I lost 30 pounds. I was very, very pale. My tongue was out. And they took like 15 minutes to go back to myself. Not to talk about the scent right now from the great workout that I did. So I happened to run into another man in the shul right when I came in. I wanted to get myself something to drink, and there was another man there. He saw me like all sweating, like as if I ran now 50 miles. And we started talking, and I explained to him that the Mishnah says in the Ethics of the Father, in the Mishnah Masechet Avot, it says that when a person goes to the synagogue but doesn't do anything, he still gets a reward for walking to the synagogue. And when a person goes to the synagogue and prays, so he gets the reward for walking and for the praying. And if a person doesn't go to the synagogue and doesn't pray, so he doesn't have reward for anything, of course. So, first of all, remember that Mishnah about the reward you get for the work that you do, for the effort. Not for nothing, that's what I'm starting the class with. At the end, we're going to close the circle, and you will understand what I mean by the work makes a big difference. But nevertheless, normally I don't have what's called schar halicha, the reward of walking when I'm at home, because I just roll out of bed and I go into the synagogue. So there's no schar halicha, no reward for walking. What I need to do is to go far away to a mikveh, and then I'll have the walking all the way back. But nevertheless, so here at least I got this schar halicha. Why am I telling you that? For two reasons. A, you have the reward for coming. And for the ones online, I hope you don't hear an echo, but you have the reward of tuning in and not watching some junk on Netflix tonight. And really, the reward is that you're hearing these words on time. But pay attention, especially for the fact of the effort, because tonight we're going to talk tachlis, down to action. I don't like talking too much in the air. I like very quickly performing acts that will take me to the next level, and not to talk too much or think too much and plan too much. So yesterday we spoke about what one needs to do on yesterday. I hope that all of you did it, and if you didn't, then go watch the recording of the class. It's on YouTube, and watch it very quickly, because every day that passes you're losing one more day into the opportunity. And I highly recommend, I don't know how many people here or online actually did what we said yesterday, but with the amount of emails that poured in today, I can understand that many had a lot of questions. I understand that many took it to consideration. So, Baruch Hashem, the more the better. But as I mentioned yesterday, it's for your own benefit. If you didn't start, then I'll instruct you tonight how to. But yesterday we spoke about that you have to prepare your mindset for the change. Because to summarize yesterday's lecture so we can go into today's lecture, the last 11 months, each and every one of you, including myself, had a lot of challenges this year. Challenges with making money, challenges with finding your other half, challenges with dealing with your spouse, challenges all over the place. Relationships, your emotions, whatever it is, each one is going through whatever challenges. And all day long, that's what I deal with. Divorces and lawsuits and sicknesses, and Hashem Yerachem. On Rosh Hashanah, as I mentioned yesterday, is decided what's going to be your challenges for the next year. So the entire year, you go through challenges. Half of them you're going to pass, half of them you won't pass, most of them you don't pass. And you don't necessarily don't pass it because you failed the challenge, because the attitude while you were going through the challenge. If you were whining and crying and complaining while you were going through the challenge, or you had strong emunah, thanking Hashem for the difficulty, you understood Hashem's work behind the scenes, the attitude was positive, you didn't lose sleep over it, you passed at least that part, success. Because a lot of your challenges you're not destined to pass. That's Hashem's way of causing you to want to become better. Somebody asked me over Shabbat, why Hashem does this entire system that we have to kind of like work hard and have challenges, and why does Hashem want me to have a yetzer hara and an evil inclination and desires? Why couldn't He design it in such a way that we just serve Him out of love? The answer is very simple. We did that before the world was created as souls. But at some point the souls came to the Master of the universe and told Him, you do so much good with us, you give us so much, you bless us and you pour on us your godly light, and we want to do something for you. We want to feel that we're also contributing, that we're doing something. The Zohar calls this concept bread of shame, nehama d'ksufa, like a poor person knocking on your door every day asking for some bread. So Hashem says, no problem, I'll build you a world that you actually earn your reward. And what's this reward that we're focusing on? How close I am to God. Not how much money I have. That's not a reward. The reward is how close I get to the Master of the universe. That why do I want closeness? Because the closer I am, the more I'm exposed to His godly light. Very simple. So Hashem created the world that we want to pursue and work hard for the results. It's all about how much work you put into your effort. How much effort you put in. The result is less important, and this is the key what you need to focus on, because we're going to talk in the next 30 days about many different ways how to apply what we spoke about yesterday. And I will repeat it, don't worry. If you didn't listen to yesterday, or if you did and you need a reminder, then tonight will remind you everything. But I want to first start by everybody acknowledging the fact that in the last year You had a lot of challenges. That's it. So say it however you want. We all had challenges. You need to ask yourself, not only on a daily basis, but now you need to ask yourself today, tomorrow, the next few days, how did I pass these challenges? If every challenge will give me a rating or a mark, a grade, however you would call it, a tziyun, how much did I make from 1 to 100? In this challenge I failed, I got 36 out of 100. In this challenge I passed it by 56 and a quarter. And try to imagine the list of your challenges, because you can write down on a piece of paper all the challenges that you had this year. You write down, I had a challenge, and between these months I was sick, chas v'shalom lo alechem, and this month I went through that. You can kind of remember your big challenges. Daily challenges, that's not right now to focus on. And the reason why I'm constantly talking over the challenges, because that's your daily service to Hashem. If Hashem wouldn't want you to work in that department, He wouldn't give you these challenges. If Hashem would want you just to serve Him all day long, jumping up and down from joy, and you have billions of dollars and healthy, and everything is good, then He would give that to you. So you already need to understand, if Hashem would want me to be in that level, He would give it. Obviously, Hashem wants me to work hard and to yearn this spiritual level that I want to achieve. And when Hashem takes something for you, it's only for the fact for you because He wants you to want it and to ask for it and to pursue it and to do something. All my life I grew up with a father that when I was a kid I resented him because everything that I wanted He never gave me. His answer was very simple: go and work. So, and I didn't like that because all my friends would get what they want when they asked from their father, and I didn't get anything. I got go and work. So when I was young, I resented that attitude. Now, when I look back, I praise my father and I thank him because he gave me the right morals that you don't depend on somebody to do something for you. You go and get it. And you put a lot of effort. And you know, many of the times you're going to fail, but it's not about if I'm going to fail or if I'm going to succeed. It's about how much effort I'm going to put to get it. And I'm not talking right now some physical things that I'm trying to get. The effort counts, but the result also counts. Here we're talking about something completely different. We're talking about what one needs to do in the month of Elul in order to get to the level that you're required to get to. Now, it's very important that every person makes this separation in their mind between what they want that doesn't really contribute much to their life and what they need to receive in order to serve Hashem. And I don't ask for Hashem, I don't ask anything. Hashem knows what I want. And to be honest with you, I don't think He cares about what I want. So I stopped asking. And you know what? I also found that He knows what's good for me. And He knows what's best for me and when to give it to me and in what portion. So myself, and you don't have to mimic me, each person does whatever they want. I don't really pray for things that I need. You won't find me like, Hashem, I need this or that. I pray the prayers that I need to pray, and I pray for other people. That's it. המתפלל על חברו, נענה תחילה. You pray for your friend, then your needs will be addressed before. So I pray for other people. It's the easiest system. And if you follow me well long enough, then you know that on the right times, I go to the right places and I pray for other people, not for myself. So, not that I'm telling everybody to do that. Every person can do whatever they want. I feel that I don't need to mention too much to Hashem what I need. And I stopped asking for stuff like that because I really don't know what I need. I know that Hashem knows what I need in order for me to serve Him in the best way possible. So let Him give me what I need. And whatever He does, I'm happy and I know that's what I need. If I think that I'm lacking something, that's my problem, not Hashem's problem. With that attitude, one needs to understand that my goal in life is not how much money I have or if I own a house and how beautiful my car is. That's definitely not what needs to interest me, or definitely not what everybody around me thinks about me. What needs to be the focus in my mind all day long is two things. How am I being the best servant to God? And how am I fulfilling my purpose in this world? That's it. That's what you need to care about. That's what you need to be occupied every day. That's what I'm occupied with every day. I don't focus on certain things. And by the way, I'm as human as you. And I have expenses of living and worries just as you. It's not that I'm some VIP like they told me when I drove in. Mike was like, no, go and park over there. And then he looked in the car, oh, no, you're VIP, park inside. So I am VIP when I'm coming into a lecture, but not when it comes to paying the electricity bill. When I call the electricity company, they don't tell me, oh, you're a VIP, you don't have to pay your bill this month. So I also have to make money, by the way. And I have kids to support. And many other responsibilities and expenses. So I'm not different than you. But I don't run after money. I do what I need to do, the basic part, and that's it. And the rest I leave to Hashem. Because that's not my problem. It's not my responsibility. Most people, they're focusing on the wrong things. So that's the key for you to understand, that I'm assuming that all of you here, including the people online, are tuned in because you are looking to upgrade your life. I don't know many people who come to a lecture or tune in or go to an advisor and say, I want to ruin my life. Well, what's the best way of doing it? Most people will go to their guru, to their advisors, to whoever. How can I make my life better? I want to be healthier, I want to be happier, I want to be more calm, more patient, less angry, more successful in life, more successful in business, more successful with performing my goals, health, whatever it is. So I'm assuming all of you are here to figure out or to hear, how can I better my life? So the first key to understand here is bettering your life is not usually what you think you need. That's the first thing, is to let go of your opinions. Oh, I need this and I need that. And I hear all sorts of weird I needs. 2 weeks ago, I did a Shabbaton for singles. Oh, I heard a lot of bad things, a lot of weird things. I need this and I need that. Some guy's 52 years old, never got married. I need her to look like this. I need her to look like that. She has to be 32. Did you look in a mirror anytime lately? Have you looked at the birth date on your driver's license? You're living in some la-la land, like... So that's a lot of... this is one category. I'm talking about some people living some dreamlands that I need this and I need that. If you want to upgrade your life, it has nothing to do with your financial situation, and it has nothing to do with what people around you think about you, and it has nothing to do with that. Your bettering your life is going after your purpose in life. So if you're not on that path, then you're completely going in circles, and that's why your life is dead ends and no success in everything. If this is the situation, person needs to pursue, what's my purpose in life? What does God want me to do? And the rest, let Him do. If Hashem wants me to have money, He will give me money. He will bring to me the whatever opportunity. You don't have to push too much. That's what I tell people for the last 20 years. That's what I do. I don't go after things that I think I want, because maybe that's not what Hashem wants. I cannot go wrong by pursuing Torah and mitzvot. Why? Well, that's for sure Hashem wants. Can you go wrong with that? No. Now, needless to say that when you elevate yourself spiritually, eventually you get to a point that Hashem just talks to you very, very clearly, and you know exactly what you need to do. But many people, they're not in that level. So now you have the opportunity, because on Elul, Hashem comes down to the world in a new form that is less familiar to us, which I'm sure you heard the concept that is called HaMelech Basadeh, the king is in the field. When I first understood this concept of the king is in the field, then I thought, okay, I imagine a president, or somebody wants to be a president, and before the presidential election, goes to one day after another to do the visits wherever they go. How they call that? There's a name for that. When the president goes every day. How? Yeah, partisan campaign, but there's a name for that. Canvassing. You're all right, but yeah, no. It's more like the campaign that, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. But then that man, whether he's the president, the current president, or the wannabe, he's the nicest person in the world. Shakes your hands and takes selfies and promises the world. So I thought that's the concept of the king is in the field. That the king goes out of his chamber, lowers his, so to say, level, and he comes to the simple people to shake hands so we can see there's a real president, it's a real king. That's what I thought in the beginning. And then I started searching more and more to try to understand this concept. What does it mean the king is in the field? He's more accessible to me? So let's say it is. What is it? How does it come about? How does it affect my life? If the king is now in the field, and we have the concept that he's like doing his campaign, he's closer to us, he's more accessible. So how is it changing my life? In the last few years that you are all following this concept, how did it change your life? How did it affect you? Some of you are observant a year, some of you are observant from birth. So, it doesn't really matter. All of you at some point, I'm assuming, unless you're completely newbies, but at some point you learned the concept that the king is in the field and Elul is a very auspicious month. And okay, how did it change your life? It didn't. I'm assuming it didn't change your life, but I think my assumption is pretty close to the reality. Because what do you do with this information? Okay, so the king is in the field, so every day what do I do? Or I'll ask you different, what did you do? So I wanted to know more clearly why our sages say that in the month of Elul, the king is in the field. And you know what was one of the first questions that came up to my mind? Why is it a field? Why not an orchard? If it's some Kabbalistic concept, isn't it better to be in an orchard? Teaching of Kabbalah is talking about the structure of the orchard and the secrets behind the orchard, and why the king is not in the orchard. Couldn't find an answer for that. So I went to my passion. Why isn't he in a vineyard? Why isn't the king in the vineyard? You know, good wine from Israel. Why isn't the king in the vineyard? Dafka in the field, in a dirty place. Vineyard is more special. An orchard can be, you know, with good scent. The field is rats in the field. I don't know how many of you ever touched a field, but I grew up on a field. I mean, I grew up in my many adventures. When I was 15, at some point, there wasn't even one institute in Israel that wanted to accept me as a student. So my father somehow found the last option where they can put me, and it was some boarding school to all the misfits. And since neither one of us had the desire to learn, so we were all, but it was like 2-3 hours a day learning, and the rest of the day you had jobs. So you had all sorts of jobs, and I chose to be in the field. So for a whole year I was like a farmer, which is great. I enjoyed it, and I got great benefit from that. But nevertheless, I can tell you the field is not such a pleasant place. There's no shade to start with. In an orchard, there's shade. And in a field, you know, if the field is a normal field, there's insects, there's bugs, there's rats, there's snakes there. It's not that you're walking there and there's beautiful butterflies. It's not such a nice place. So, you know, when you're really digging into the concept, why do you bring him into a field? Couldn't be the king is in the Hilton? Why couldn't they say, okay, the king, I don't think it's even fits to the king to come to the field. Field is a disgusting, dirty place. So it bothered me many, many years I didn't understand why our sages teach us that the king is in the field in this month. Why this month? That's not important. I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's now in this month before Tishrei. Hashem is so merciful and so kind and so patient that he says the whole last year, on Rosh Hashanah, you promised the world. And wow, what you promised on Rosh Hashanah. It lasts 3 minutes. And then on Yom Kippur, you promised more things. And throughout the year, nothing that you promised you actually did. every little challenge that I threw to your direction, you whined, cried, complained, so I'm still going to give you another month of opportunity to get your act together. That's really what Hashem is telling you now. I'm giving you a month to get your act together. The holy books explain that what you do in the month of Elul, you can, so to say, retroactively affect the entire year back. The whole month of Elul. But you have to put it the best you have. Not like one day yes, one day no. And that's really the opportunity I spoke about yesterday. Take advantage of this 30 days. Because what you're going to do this 30 days, retroactively will change what you did the entire past year. And the reason why you want to do that is very, very simple. Each and every one of you has your desires, your requests, your goals, your dreams, the things that you challenge with, and you want those challenges to be removed. So basically, in simple words, you all want next year to be blessed with a good, sweet year. That's the bottom line. And it doesn't matter what's your needs right now. I don't know anybody who sits and says, this year, Hashem, just disasters, please. Right? So we all have the same common denominator. We all want to have a blessing next year, each one for their reasons. Yesterday I said that your desires, your prayers, and your hopes should be L'Shem Shamayim, for what Hashem wants, not what you need. Don't worry, Hashem knows what you need. He'll give it to you if it's needed. But the point is that we're all seeking to do something that by Rosh Hashanah, hopefully, I will be blessed with a good year, and hopefully some things in my life will be upgraded. Whether it's my parnasa, whether it's my yirat shamayim, my livelihood, my God-fearing, my connection to Hashem, each one has their desires. But since we all share the same ground, then we need to work for 30 days till Rosh Hashanah. That's the purpose. That's what we need to focus on. Anything that you want to change in your life right now, I told you yesterday to make a list. If you did it, if you didn't, then make today the list of all the things that you are not so happy with in your life. Now, don't write your mother-in-law. That doesn't change. That's not in your hands. Write things that you have control over. So, don't write nonsense. My Mercedes is not beautiful enough. Things that really bother you in your life. It's hard for me to wake up in the morning. It's hard for me to shut up when I get insulted. I'm very quick to anger. I'm very judgmental. I'm impatient. Write a list. Know your faults. I told you yesterday, when you break the word teshuvah as an acronym, the vav of teshuvah is vidui, confess. Be true with yourself. Pour out your heart to Hashem and confess. I did this wrong, I did this wrong. Who am I kidding? So, in the month of Elul, you have the opportunity to bring yourself to the level you need to come to by Rosh Hashanah. And that's really what we're focusing on. Now again, going back to the concept of the king is in the field, I never understood why the sages explained that the king is in the field. Like I mentioned, I think there's much better places to bring the king to. So I already, not rejected, but I didn't go by the concept that Hashem is just more accessible to me. Okay, let's not take it away from what it is. Hashem is more accessible, which means in the month of Elul, it's much, much easier to do what takes very, very hard throughout the year. So if you're serious about making a change in your life, in Elul will be very, very easy. That's the energy in the world. That's really I would take it as the pshat, the literal level of HaMelech Basadeh, that Hashem is, like your buddy, and He's closer to you, and it's easier to slip in a note, and where you will never be able to go and talk to the king. Now He comes and He shakes your hands, and you can give Him a note with your request, you take a selfie. Not that I'm chas v'shalom comparing myself to anything, but for many, many months I sit in my place in Tzfat. I teach Torah for thousands of people, like the people online right now, and they only see me through a screen. So I'm just like another image on the screen. And then once a year I come to a certain city and people come and see me and they see the real thing. They want to have a selfie, just want to shake the hand or ask me a 4.5-hour question, one of the three. But I respect that. In some way, I like meeting my followers, my students. But in the same respect, imagine now you're an avid follower and you watch the screen for year after year after a year, and finally you get to see me face to face. Shake my hand, talk, get a blessing, whatever it is. So the pshat here is the same idea, that something that usually is far away from you is much more accessible right now. If you have a question for me and you would send an email or an SMS or whatever, WhatsApp, Facebook, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get directly to me because you're one of 5,000. Yesterday we had a lecture. The day later, thousands of messages. How do I do this? Where do I find that? What does the rabbi mean about this? So like you send a message. You're not going to get me. Until you get me, we'll go through a lot of tzimtzumim, a lot of seder ishtalshelut will be here, a descending chain, like from Olam HaAtzilut, the other way around. Now, not that I'm some big shot, it's just I'm busy. And I can I also answer a handful of people a day. I can't talk with 5,000 people every day, and I definitely cannot answer 500 emails every day. So that's the situation. So you want to send a message through the system, you will have to wait. You will have to be patient. But now you're sitting here, come up to me, I have a quick question, and you get your question, or whatever that is. So on the pshat, on the simple explanation of the Melech Basadeh, that's kind of the concept. Yeah, Hashem is much more accessible. You can see it in a different form. You pray, your prayers are stronger. You do some actions, they're more stronger. You have much closeness to Hashem, so clarity comes to you on situations that you're not too sure what to do, how to do. So not to take away from the fact, yeah, Hashem is more accessible. But that wasn't sufficient for me for many, many years, because I said that no, it has to be something much more to it, with the concept that the king is in the field. So I came to the conclusion as follows. A field is a place of work. In an orchard or in a forest or even in a vineyard, I go to do it bodedut in a vineyard. I go, of course, to check the grapes and do whatever maintenance. For that, there's the workers that do that. But it's such a gorgeous place. And I'm talking right now my personal vineyard. It's such a peaceful place. Besides that, during the war, I was 50 meters from Lebanon and they were shooting at us. But there wasn't that peaceful. But nevertheless, when they're not shooting at us, it's one of the most peaceful places. It's such amazing air. And I pray there, and I do my bodedut there, and I even have a swing there. And because it's, imagine Rabbi Anava swinging, yeah. The swing is not for me, but there's a swing there. But nevertheless, why am I saying that? It's a much more pleasant place to be in a vineyard or in a nice orchard. The field is not a nice place. A field, the meaning of a field is a place of work. You go to work. Like when the Torah wanted to paint for us Esav, he said that he's a ish tzayid, he's like a hunter, a ish sadeh, he's in the field. So the field, the conclusion is that it's a place of work. But nevertheless, it's a place where you plant things, where you sow things. You have to now follow the depth of why a field. And the field is a place of hard work. It's not that you just go and throw a few seeds and you go. First you have to plow the land, and you have to take care of the land, and whatever you need to do. There's a lot of stages. And then, of course, you need to maintain it and so forth. Hard work. The field is a place of hard work. But it has the ability of growth. It's one of the only places when you plant in, if you put hard work, will come growth from that. But it depends on one thing. It depends on the blessings of Hashem. You can plow the ground, you can sow, you can do whatever you need to do for the land. But if Hashem didn't give His blessing, nothing will grow. You need to do the hard work, you need to put the effort, and then you need to have the emunah and the bitachon, the faith and the belief that Hashem will give you your blessing, that all your hard work will grow positive results. So it means that you need to do the initial work. You need to be in the field. to show Hashem how you work. So when you're thinking of the fact that Hashem is in the field for 30 days, He's not there to greet you or to give you a selfie or to shake your hand. He's here to see how you work. When He's sitting in His chamber, so to say, He doesn't see you. Of course, Hashem can see everything. Everything we're talking here is metaphorical. He's busy with these things. He doesn't look at you how you work. He just wants to see the bottom line. Now you have the opportunity to show the King how you work. Because like I told you in the beginning, what matters is the effort and not the result, and not your desire, and not what you want. And you know that many times your desires are 100% for Hashem. I know many people who tell me, I want to make so much money, I want to be a millionaire. Why? Because I want to give a lot of tzedakah. Yeah, right. So, but really, I do know many people who really want to do good in the eyes of Hashem. I know men that really want to learn more Torah and broaden their horizon and the depth of their knowledge, and they just can't because they're busy and occupied with their parnasah. And they genuinely praying to Hashem, give me more time, I want to learn more Torah. That's really what one needs to pray for, is good things for Hashem. But assuming that the mazal of this person is not to have time to learn Torah, and assuming that that person realizes that he needs to work 9, 10, 11 hours a day to support his family, and traveling and going to work, coming back to work, and then the man comes to the conclusion, I'm not going to have time to learn, but he wants to. And whenever he does have time, he puts the effort to that. And whenever he does have free time, he doesn't go to Facebook or nonsense like that, or Netflix, or going like this with his phone. He puts the 5 minutes of the learning. He didn't reach to the level that he wanted. That was the will of Hashem. But the desire to want to know, that he gained. He reached to that level just by wanting. Rabbi Nachman from Breslov says that if you have a desire to do something holy, and Hashem doesn't want you to do it for whatever reason, but you really wanted to do it and you have the desire, Hashem will fulfill your need like when you come to the heavens, like as if you did it. Of course, you want to do it yourself. But when you really want something, sometimes Hashem says, it's not your time. I need you to focus on other things. So, again, to understand the concept with the field is a place of work. You are meeting now Hashem. When Hashem is in the field, you're coming to a place of work. You're not coming to a place of a rendezvous with Hashem. You're not having now a cup of coffee and a croissant. You came to work. That's the first thing you need to understand. And the field is a place where you work hard. And the concept of the working is that you have to plow, you have to plant, you have to sow. It's not just coming to get a tan. A lot of people come to the place they need to come to, they don't perform what they need to do. So you have to come to the place of the field. Your hard work is not running after your money right now or your next whatever it is. It's running after how do I plan and plant the right seeds. Because if I want my next year to be blessed, which means that now I need to plant it when Hashem is in the field. Now I'm planting my hard work so I can sow it next year, the entire year. Now you can start understanding the concept of the Melech Basadeh, the king is in the field. There's nothing to do with him taking selfies with you. It's you have to come now and step forward and say, oh, so now for the 30 days, next 30 days, I'm going to have to put a lot of hard work, not what I did the last 11 months. What did I put the last 11 months wasn't enough, wasn't good, wasn't even in the direction. So the next 30 days, I need to fulfill what I didn't do the last 11 months, so I came to work hard. And what do I need to what's the hard work? Is I need to plant the right seeds that's after Rosh Hashanah, with Hashem's blessing, everything that I planted will grow what I need. And why do I want to do it during Elul? Because Hashem gives me points now in Elul by my hard work, not by the results. You know that I once hired a worker. He wasn't such a good worker. His results were not that great. But you know what I loved about him? Every day he showed up on time. He never took off. Once when he needed off, he told me in advance. One time he was late, he apologized 50 times. He showed up every day to the job on the dot. And I respected that because even though he wasn't the greatest worker, his abilities maybe wasn't that great, but the dedication to come, I'm showing up. That's it. Show up. In the last whatever amount of Eluls that you celebrated, you didn't show up. Guarantee. Because you didn't realize what it means that Hashem is in the field. You thought it's just she's more accessible. Hashem is in the field, like the boss, like the foreman. He's waiting to see who's coming to work. Of course, your work, is your spiritual change that you're going to have to focus on during Elul. Like I told you yesterday, the prayers, the thanking, everything that I said yesterday. I will recap it in a few minutes, so it will be fresh. That's your work in this month. Hard. Whatever you didn't do this year, you're gonna have to do in this month. And that's why I told you to make a whole list of the things you're not happy with, because that's what you're going to need to work on. And not everything, by the way. If your list is very long, you're going to concentrate on one or two or three. You don't focus on too many things at the same time. But now you need to understand, I have 30 days not to rub shoulders with the king. That's not going to give me nothing. I didn't gain anything from this concept in the first 15 years of my tshuva when I went through the month of Elul. In the back of my mind, the king is in the field. What do I do with that? What does it mean? I didn't understand that the bottom line is that I am now coming to work. This is a month of work. Whatever you want to always take on yourself. A lot of people make a lot of resolutions, and some of them last for a day, some of them for a week. Most people, the resolutions don't stick. Because you need to make a change, not a resolution. A resolution is nice. It's kind of like throwing a dart to the wall. Of course it's going to hit. What's going to happen from that? I don't know. Did it hit the target? No. But it hit it. That's a resolution. You want something, you need to do a change. Nobody will do it for you. Nobody's working for you. Hashem didn't send any assistance. Whatever you need to change in your life, you need to do it. That's it. The advantage that you have on Elul is that Hashem is giving you much less pressure about you being late to work for the last 11 months. He's kind of, how do you say? There's a nice way of saying it. Giving you slack or whatever. He's giving you like, okay. Let's see what you do this month and then I'll decide. So, once I understand that the field is a place of hard work, it's a place where I plan things, it's a place that has the ability of growth. Now I'm going to ask you a question. How many times did you plan things metaphorically? You put a lot of effort into a business. You put a lot of effort into a relationship. You put a lot of effort in fixing some relationship or whatever it is. You put some effort and nothing came out of that. Can I fairly say that you all had it at least once in your life? Yeah? Was it the wrong thing that you were putting effort to? You all nodding no, but maybe yes, maybe no. We don't know. But at least you put effort. The problem here is that where do you put your effort? How do you know I'm not putting effort in the wrong place? You know, many times couples come to me to consult, talk, they want some advice. Of course, the idea, the concept, and the idea is never to go towards a separation. Always see what's not working. Let's fix it. But there are situations that it's pretty obvious, and stop with the effort. That's it. It's time to just let go. You need to know, when you're in a situation like that, how to let go, and of course when. But you need to know how to not to get to a situation like that you're putting effort into something that nothing will come out of that. So right now you have 30 days, and I'm sure you heard it one way or another. You need to know where you're putting your effort. That you're not going to put a lot of effort in the month of Elul that doesn't go to the right place. Therefore, our sages come and tell you, this month the king is in the field. That's where you go to. You go to the field. You go to a place of hard work, but you have to be very particular where you plant your seeds, because you want them to grow. Now let me ask you a question. If you plant your seeds and you want asking Hashem for your business to make a lot of money because you are dying to buy this beautiful BMW and go to this next vacation in the Bahamas or whatever, then that's not really what you need to ask Hashem for your parnasah. That's effort that will not necessarily be planted in the right place, and you're not going to sow anything good from that. And that's an example with finance. It can be in any other thing. You have to know and be very careful how and what you ask for. But what you need to focus on, that your effort is going to be placed in a place of growth. And the field is a place of growth. What do you take from that? That where you put your hard work, from that you'll have growth. So if I'm telling you, you need to put your hard work and to focus on A, B, and C, that's where the growth is going to come from. And the blessing is going to come from Hashem for what He thinks that is good for you to get. If Hashem wants you to have good parnasah, as long as you go in a good path, He will give it to you. You don't have to nag all day long and look for all sorts of ways how to add another dollar to your account. And you want to find your husband or your wife, you don't have to all day long be on all the available websites and every available single event and all day long do this and that, and before you go on a date, 5 hours in front of the mirror. You don't need all that. You need the basic, and pursue with your precious time effort that will be placed in a place of growth, that you will receive your growth. Because eventually at the end of the day, I know most people don't translate spiritual growth to really what they need. People coming to me in a superficial way, asking me for a blessing to get married, a blessing to have health, a blessing to have money, a blessing to move to Eretz Israel, a blessing to whatever it is. Very few people come and tell me, I want a blessing that will be much easier for me to fight my evil inclination. And I want a blessing that it will be much more successful, the minutes that I have to learn Torah, that it would resonate and I will benefit from that. This is where you put effort that will bring you growth. My understanding how Hashem works is that you want this, you go there. But I already brought myself to a level many, many years ago that I don't ask for what, I don't have any desires or requests. I let Hashem bring me what I need. That's it. And I just know to surrender myself much more to Hashem, that Hashem brings me much more than I need. And what He brings me that I need, the best way. And that's the attitude, because I have a lot of things that I can complain on. I have a lot of things that I can put on a list of a long list of complaints. My kid is like this, and my wife is like that, and my business is like this. But I choose to look at every step that Hashem puts in front of me as a huge blessing. That's it. Maybe I don't see the blessing right now, but it's a blessing. And when I put effort into whatever I believe will bring me growth, that's really what I get in a very indirect way, exactly what I need. As it says in Birkat Hamazon, לא ראיתי צדיק שנעזב וזרעו מבקש לחם. I never seen a tzaddik that Hashem just, lets go, and that his offsprings ever go after tzedakah and money and like bread it's talking about. So deep down inside, you wish for yourself a big change in your life, but unfortunately you might have the struggles to get to that place. I'm telling you that the loophole here is to not pursue the things per se that you think are what you need, is to pursue your spiritual connection to Hashem and pursue your spiritual growth. That will bring you what you need. You have issues with your spouse, we have problems with Shlom Bayit, don't just go to every available rabbi or every seminary or read every book. That's not necessarily going to bridge between you and your spouse. Bring yourself to a place of spiritual elevation. The disagreements or whatever doesn't work out will work out. Hashem brings to you these difficulties to wake you up where you need to put the right effort. So, going back to what I said, the field is a place with the potential of growth. You need to put the effort where will be growth, not something where won't be growth. Where won't be growth? In a place that is completely against Hashem. You go now and ganging against somebody with Lashon Hara and slandering or whatever, there's not going to be any growth there. And I'm saying that because in the last month and a half when I was traveling in the United States, Florida is my last stop. I started in New York, all around that area, and then traveled to the Midwest, and then a little bit into the West. I've been in the last month and a half all over the United States. And the thing that I can conclude from the month and a half is that everywhere that I go, there's a lot of sinat chinam, a lot of baseless hate between congregations, between rabbis, between shuls, between people, between groups. I see it in a very, very strong way, in ways that you can't even believe. The disagreements and the machlokot and it's unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. It's sad to see it, because it's coming in most of the cases from observant people who you would expect to have the God-fearing to let go, to give in, to step back, to move in a motion of peace and not in a motion of a disagreement. So I had that last year, and I got disappointed last year, and I got disappointed again this year. When I go to different communities and I see rabbis fighting, he's coming to me, why is he going to you? Why are you going to that? Oh, you're going to that rabbi, you're not invited to my shul. What kind of nonsense is that? And everybody's putting me in the middle. And unfortunately, I'm telling you, it was almost in every city that I went to. Horrible things. So, you are busy with something like that? That's not going to give you any growth in your life, any blessing in your life. And every person in their way has some type of a disagreement with somebody because they owe you the apology. But nobody's saying you need to be right. The fact you need to take that when you are in the field and when you work hard in the field, but you work the right way, that's when you activate the blessing of Hashem. Like the worker that I had, he came on time. He did what he was supposed to do. Again, like I told you, he wasn't the best quality worker. But he came on time. He already got a good mark. He was obedient. I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm saying it in a very positive way. Didn't ask questions, didn't contradict, didn't argue. Yes, sir, no, sir, whatever. He did everything the right way. So he gained his job, even though he wasn't such a great worker, because of these qualities. So you have to understand that when you work in the field the right way, that's when you're going to get Hashem's blessing. And it's not because Hashem doesn't want to give you the blessing. It's because you're not preparing the right vessels. And many of the times people have very big vessels. They have a lot of desires, a lot of good ideas, but they don't have enough blessings to fill these vessels. And I know a lot of people who want to do a lot of acts of kindness, and they want to help, and they have this strong desire, which means spiritually their vessel is very, very big, but they don't have enough blessing to fill this vessel. So A, they're not successful. B, they feel their emptiness. When your vessel is big and there's not enough light to fill it in, the effect is emptiness, which will of course translate to loneliness, sadness, and then will manifest to many other things. And sometimes you can have a family surrounding you with kids and parents and brothers and sisters and a community, and you still feel alone. It's not about how many people are around you. You can be surrounded with family and friends and people who love you, but still you feel alone and you feel isolated, or you feel not connected. Why? Not because you did anything or your family did something. It's because you have big desires, not directed to the right place. So your vessel is very big, but you don't have enough blessing to fill this vessel, then it comes about as an empty vessel. So the effort that you need to put has to be in the right way. And like I told you, when I put an effort the right way, Hashem gives you the right blessing. That's the thing. That's how you activate the blessing. And when everything goes the right way, when the field, it gives its produce. That's it. Very simple math. But I have to understand that when is the time to work in the field? Not throughout the year. Is when the king is in the field. Why is he in the field? I don't ask any questions. It's none of my business. I didn't consult why he chose the field. He's there, I'm going. That's it. Like somebody told me the other day, Rabbi Anava's there, I'm going. I'm not asking questions. Live, not live, recorded. I can see him with my eyes. I'm coming. And again, not that I think that I'm some great big shot. I'm just giving you examples from real life. And I would do the exact same thing. An opportunity comes, a great rabbi will come to my town. You think I'm going to say I'm going to watch the video on YouTube? I want to see it face to face. I want to feel the energy. Maybe I'll get a blessing or a selfie. Maybe I'll be the lucky one who goes out to dinner with the rabbi after. I don't know. We lottery. We do a lottery. And if you win, you go out to do coffee with me. And get to ask me all your questions for 4 hours. But you have to pay for the coffee. Very few people get to do that. But wouldn't you want to go out to coffee with me? So for tomorrow I'm available between 11 to 1, by the way. I like cappuccino and very good cakes. But if I would give you now the opportunity, and again, I'm not trying to chas v'shalom in any disgusting way think or say in any way that I think that I'm that great. I'm trying to make an example. Wouldn't you want to spend some time with me tomorrow in a nice restaurant, see how I chew and how the food is on my beard? No, you wouldn't take me to a restaurant, we'll go to a cup of coffee. But nevertheless, the concept is, it doesn't matter me or any other person, but somebody that you really look up to, you like, you admire, you're going to benefit from, you can get so much more. They're in town. You're not going to go and see that person. Most people will go on the live and like, it's to drive 40 minutes. But nevertheless, now I'm telling you, the king is in the field. Don't you want to go to the field and at least see the phenomena? Yes, you do. But you don't go to the field to take pictures. You go to the field, you pull your sleeves up and you're saying, I came here to work. So I have 30 days to work hard. And if I put all my effort in a very positive way, then it will grow and it will bring me benefit to my life. It will take me to another level, spiritually, of course. And don't worry about your needs. I told you that many times and I will repeat as many as I need to. Hashem knows your status, your marital status. He knows how much money you don't have. He knows where you have aches and pains. He knows your wishes and your desires. He knows all that. You don't need to nag him all day long. I have 7 kids, Baruch Hashem, amazing kids. I have the 10 commandments of Abba. I'm Abba. Abba is dad. But there's the 10 commandments of Abba, and it's kind of like the 7 laws of Noah, that it's really not 7 laws, it's 70. So my 10 commandments is more like 150 commandments. But the 10 big ones are Yareg ve'bal ya'avor. You know, you put yourself to death, you don't want to cross that line. So I'm a nice guy till the red line is crossed. And one of the rules in the Anava Bible is the more you ask, the less you get. 2 weeks ago, I was in a Shabbaton, and I used this example, and there was a room filled with 200 people, and all my kids were next to me, because we had the meal. It was a Shabbaton. My wife is now on the trip with me. My kids are with me. So all my kids were sitting, and I gave this exact example to the crowd. And I said, the more you ask, and I went like this, and all my kids together, and it wasn't planned or anything, the less you get. So, because that was the rule. Don't ask. I know what you need. You said it once. That's all I need to hear it. Baruch Hashem, I still have my faculties. I remember. It went out of my brain, the fact that you asked for something. I know you asked for whatever it was. I heard. I will decide when I'm going to give it to you, if I want to give it to you, and how I wanted to give it to you. And that's it. And that's exactly what Hashem says. You asked once, Evanti. I heard. And you hear the echo? I hear myself. I will decide when I'm going to give it to you, how I'm going to give it to you. That's it. That's how I deal with Hashem. I don't pull his shirt. I want ice cream. I want ice cream. Already. I know you want ice cream, but I told you the first time, I'm not giving it to you. Stop bothering me. Can you imagine how much you bother Hashem sometimes? Now, I'm not telling you not to pray. Moshe Rabbeinu prayed 515 times till Hashem told him, stop. I don't want to give it to you. So I focus on what Hashem wants me to do, where Hashem wants me to go, what are the things that I need to put my effort on, because I know that when Hashem sees me coming to work on time and punching the clock and saying, I'm here, even if I didn't do the job right, even if I tried and I failed, but I showed up, and every day I show up, even if I'm not that great, but I show up. So you have 30 days to show up. Can you imagine how it's going to look that one day you didn't show up? Now, I need to work only for Hashem. It's nothing for me. I need to work in the field when the king is in the field, because I want him to see my efforts. I don't know about you. I know when Hashem is kind of acknowledging what I'm doing. And I don't know if it took 20 years to get to that point, but when I do something that is right, I feel the acknowledgement of Hashem. You're doing it, it's the right thing to do. And don't ask me how I get this understanding. I just understand when I'm doing the right thing, I get my confirmation. I get my Hashem says, I'm happy with you because you did the right decision. And many times in my life, and I can name now 20 just in the last year, that I did a certain act or I made a decision, not based on what I wanted, based on what I thought would be the right thing to do in the eyes of Hashem. And very quickly I saw Hashem's acknowledgement. It's the right way, it's the right decision. You gave me nachat. So when I show up to the field, I show myself to Hashem in a different eyes. Imagine now Hashem is a CEO, and I'm now taking away for 1 second the abilities of Hashem, because Hashem knows everything, He sees everything, He's everywhere. He doesn't need the example that I'm about to give. But let's say, just for the sake of the example, you work for a very big company. You think the CEO knows you? You think the president of the company knows you? You're just another employee. But can you imagine that you can spend a weekend with the president of the company and you swinging yourself classy around him, you don't come straight out and ask for that raise, you just, make him laugh, and you break the ice, and you compliment him just the right way, not too much kissing of the tuchas, doing it like classy. Don't you think after that weekend you have already a little in with the CEO? Now Hashem is not a CEO, but don't you think that it's the right thing to do to kind of show the boss how you work? And everything that I'm saying is metaphorical. Hashem knows what you're doing, but that's the idea. Don't think that you showing up to the field, which you never even understood how to show up to the field, or which field, or where the field is. Now you understand that the field is your hard work you are going to have to put in the next 30 days. And Hashem is going to come every day to see if you came up on time, or if you were late, or if you didn't show up, or if you came even when you're sick. That worker that I had, he would show up sick. And I would tell him, why are you coming sick? Just tell me you don't feel good. No, I come. He's like, I'm not dead. That was his answer. I'm not dead. Okay, I'm lucky you're not dead. But he would show up. So you need to show up to the field and give it your best and give all your effort and try to gain all the points, because Hashem is looking at you, because He's in the field right now with you. And He sees all your efforts. That's when you're doing your showcase, not on Rosh Hashanah. You think that on Rosh Hashanah Hashem has the time to look at your case right now? Rosh Hashanah is Judgment Day. He's sitting on His throne right now. He's looking now, He's already talking to the lawyers at this point. He's not talking to the defendant. 30 days you can talk to the judge and sweeten the judgment just by showing character. In the last few months I started sharing a little bit more private parts of my tshuva story. Happened to me, and I'm leaving tomorrow to Tampa. I have two beautiful lectures in Tampa. One of them is my near-death experience, and the second one is the story that I'm talking about. Some of you were there. A few months ago I spoke in K-Space, if you remember. I don't think how much of this lecture is online, because it's more private. But nevertheless, the topic of the story is the miracle how Hashem got me from a very difficult indictment. I was facing 40 years in jail with a federal indictment, 49 counts on a federal indictment. And what shifted it, besides the miraculous miracle how Hashem waltzed in and changed everything to show how He controls everything, but nevertheless, so to say, bederech hateva, every miracle has to be dressed in nature. The nature, how Hashem dressed it, is the fact that it was the character change, that the judge was constantly congratulating by telling me, I see you're a different man. I see you going on a different path. I see you chose a path of change. That was the sweetening of the judgment. So not that Hashem needs to come to the field to see your personality, but you have 30 days to show Hashem really what you're willing to give. You want something in life? It has to come with a sacrifice. You're not going to get nothing in life without a sacrifice. That's how it works. And if you get something in life and you didn't sacrifice something for it, that's whatever you got won't sustain long, won't remain. Or if it stays in your life, it's not going to benefit you, or not going to bring you any joy or any type of benefit. That's how this world works. That's the 2-minute explanation of the entire concept that takes 70% of our Torah, which is called sacrificing on the altar. 70% of the mitzvot in the Torah is about sacrifices. And how, and what, and who. 5 parashot in the Torah, just explaining everything in the Mishkan, and all the kelim and everything in the Torah is around the sacrifices, all the time, sacrifices. Even before we got the Torah. Noach goes out of the ark, he builds altars. Avraham Avinu builds altars. All the time we hear this concept of taking animals, slaughtering them, and putting them on an altar. Which a lot of people saying, it's barbaric, paganism, whatever. No. You can't learn the Torah or practice the Torah in any other language but Lashon Kodesh, but Hebrew. Sacrifice in Hebrew is korban. Korban comes from the word kiruv, from the root, kuf reish bet, lekarev. When I sacrifice something, the result is that I become closer. That's it. Who do I become closer to? To my Creator. That's it. Very simple. That should be the only goal in your life. How close you are to Hashem. Not how much money you make, not how you look, not anything in your life should bother you, but how close you are to God. And by the way, your closeness to God is not measured by how long your beard is, or if you're walking with a suit or a hat. That's an exterior garment. I'm not saying anything other but that the exterior part makes an effort, makes a difference. But it's not the essence. I know people that the inside is way more pure and way higher level when their exterior is not that great, and some people that the exterior looks very, very pious and the inside is rotten like a, I don't even want to say what. So don't judge a book by its cover, but the reality is that the exterior does make a difference, the interior also, but you have to understand how to get what you need and what you want. And that's really the concept. And I have to understand that when I'm working in the field, Hashem is looking at me. He's observing my efforts, my focus, on my determination, even when I fail. You know that half the challenges that you failed in, it's because Hashem wanted you to fail. Only to see how you wake up the next day. If you lose your temper, if you lose your patience, if you try again, if you give up, if you curse, if you use foul language, how do you react when you fail the challenge? Many people are not even in the level to understand that they are going through a challenge or a test. But assuming you are in that level, most of the times Hashem will make you fail your tests just to see how you react. How you're dealing with the challenge. If you get angry, you get upset. If you accept that it's from Hashem, you say thank you Hashem, but genuinely, or you whine and cry and complain. So how I perform my behavior gets me a lot of credit points. What are these credit points? You can call it blessing. I will tell you the growth that comes from your hard work of planting in the month of Elul. You want a blessed year throughout the entire year? It's not what you pray on Rosh Hashanah. It's what you did the entire month of Elul. If you put a little bit of effort on Elul, then that's how the blessing will come to you in the next year. That's it. It's very, very simple. And again, blessing is not how much money you have. Blessing is how much you got of what you deserved and what you need to for your spiritual growth. And I find that the true blessing in your life is how your days pass. Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Are you full of energy, hope, or the complete opposite? That should be your gauge, where you're holding. If most of the days of the year you're unhappy, you feel a failure, you feel unfulfilled, unwanted, whatever it is, whatever, you have to make the weighing. I feel successful when I wake up in the morning and I don't have a reason to smile and I smile. And I'm happy inside, but real happy. The other day I was driving. My daughter was like, "Why are you smiling?" I was like, "I'm just happy. I just have a good feeling inside. I feel I'm I'm going on the right path. So why wouldn't I feel happy? Not tired, not a deflated energy, because I feel I'm going on the right path. So I feel true peace and true happiness. And it's not because I don't have challenges and I have tons of money falling on me. No, I have a lot of challenges. I just don't count the challenges. The same way that you do like this on Instagram, I do like this to the challenges. I throw them off and I roll it over. That's what you need to do, by the way. I roll it over to Hashem. It's not my problem. You sink into the sinking mud of your own challenge because you think you can handle it. You can't, by the way. I roll it over straight to Hashem. And the way to do it is that I deal with what is my problem. My problem is getting up in the morning and going to pray. That's it. And following what the Torah says. And being kind to other people. And that's my problem. Not dealing with the tuitions or an angry principal or a lawsuit or a lawyer or whatever. That's not my problem. One time many years ago, I have a big organization that has a big budget to deal with many different things. I don't only teach online. I have many other parts in my organization. We have a big institution in Tzfat, food bank, whatever, say for a youth program. It takes a lot of money. One time, many years ago, and I have a video of it online, I was missing a lot of money for the budget to pay stuff. And my argument with Hashem was, listen, I'm not the treasurer of this organization. I'm the rabbi of the organization. My job is to teach Torah, not to run after money. You want me to run after money? Then I can't teach Torah. You solve this problem. It's not my problem to run after money. And sure enough, go see the video. The video title is, Can Hashem Make Money from Thin Air? Something like that. Well, watch this class. It will give you a lot of inspiration. Because I dealt with the biggest situation. I needed a lot of money. If I wouldn't have that money in the bank account, checks will bounce, situations wouldn't be so good. And instead of whining and complaining and losing sleep over it and losing my anger and temper and screaming at every poor person around me and worrying, I took an hour to pray, and then I rolled it over to Hashem and I said, I got to prepare a Torah class right now. I don't have time to ask for money. You worry about it. And sure enough, an hour later, the money came. That's it. That's how it works. You roll over responsibilities that has nothing to do with you. So going back to what we need to do, because I see the time is not running out, but the time is running fast. I thought we were talking 15 minutes. I see it's already 74 minutes. This is the introduction. So, I'm the one who needs to do the work. The meeting with the king in the field is not some rendezvous with the king to get a selfie. The meeting with God in the field is for me to work. If you don't understand that, then don't come to Rosh Hashanah with great expectations. And by the way, I hope you don't feel or think or take from my words that I'm threatening you that if you don't do what I'm telling you, Hashem won't bless you with a good year. That's not what I'm saying, by the way. I'm not on the committee of the blessings. Hashem should bless you with everything that you need in abundance. I'm just telling you how to receive that blessing, because many of you don't go in the path that you are plowing the land the right way. You're not planting the right way, so the blessing won't come. As much as you want and as much as Hashem wants, because Hashem wants you to learn His lessons. So you need to put the effort. Hashem will do the rest. And each one will gain the bracha wherever they need it. I know a certain individual that's like many that can't find their other half. And while other people pray all day long and go 40 days fast and going to all the graves in the world and doing all these things, she's proactive in other things and not, going directly to the problem. You know what I mean? Instead of dealing with the symptom. I'm not saying not to pray, not to do all these things, but you need to understand, if Hashem now is taking something away from me, it's for me to focus on something something else. If I'm single right now, it's because Hashem wants me to focus on something else than a husband. The time for the husband will come. Don't try to bring something faster than when it needs to come. And same thing with money. Sometimes you're like, Hashem, now I need the parnasa. Hashem's, no, I need you right now to do tshuva. I need you to learn Torah. I need you to work on your relationship. I need you to work on your midot. Don't worry, I'll give you the lul that you need to survive. And it's in the right time, you'll get your parnasa. So, I need to do the effort. Nobody else will do it for me. Nobody will come and spoon feed you, however you say that. You need to do the effort. You need to understand that the king is in the field. You need to go to work now. You want the next year to be good, different, upgraded, then it's not going to come for free. Or by you coming on Rosh Hashanah, dipping the apple in the honey, and that's it. You finish with what you need to do. And you give $18 to your favorite organization, and that's not how it works. You are required to give a lot of effort. You have to, first of all, do the effort, the ma'amatz. Right? Whether you're successful or not, it doesn't matter. If your issue is waking up in the morning to go to the minyan, even if you're late every day for the next 30 days, but you have the effort, you did the effort. Try not to be late. Go 1 hour earlier to sleep. But you have to put in the effort. That's the first thing you need to do. I'll explain everything, by the way. You're not in the dark. I know we are in the dark, but you're not really in the dark. Ironically, we're sitting in the dark, but Hashem is telling you, you're not in the dark. There's a light above us. They will guide us. You need to focus, first of all, on the effort. That's your first point. The next thing you need to focus on is your will, your desire. I want to do this. You have to bring yourself to a point that you want to do something. Many things in my life I had to get rid of as bad habits. Addictions to all sorts of substance and many other things. And before you get rid of something that is unwanted in your life, you have to bring yourself to a point to want to get rid of it. If you don't want, it won't work. Not too long ago, I used to smoke for many years, and 22 years ago, I quit smoking through hypnotism. And 22 years I don't smoke, Baruch Hashem. My sister is a very heavy smoker. I saw a group of hypnosis that came to close to where she lived, so I sent her a link. Here, look, that's how I quit smoking. And she told me, thank you for the link, but really, I don't want to quit. That's it, you don't want to quit, it's not going to work. And you know what, when I did the hypnosis to quit smoking, the hypnotist, he started by saying, if you don't really want to, it's not going to work. You want to do the change or to gain whatever level. You need to build this desire. Nobody will do it for you, by the way. You need to do it. That's why we're talking here constantly, sadeh, field, hard work. I'm sorry I'm not a man of good news for you. I'm a man of telling you you're going to need to work hard the next month if you want some big change in your life. And not only that, you need to understand that without any sacrifice, nothing will work in your life. And that's why I told you yesterday to write a list of things that you don't like in your life, because it's going to be a sacrifice for you to get rid of it. You're going to have to sacrifice a few things in your life. You want something, you're going to have to give something. That's how it works. You're not going to just get. That's not how it works in the world. And if you feel that you're getting, something's rotten in the system, be very careful, because it might explode in your face at some point. The system, how it works, you want something, you give something. You want next year to be blessed with whatever you need. You want to find your husband, you need money, you need peace in your heart, you need peace in your mind, you need peace in your house. Every person needs certain things to bring them to a place that they're much more calm, much more happier, much more productive, much more focused on what they need to do. They're not falling into depression, sadness, confusion. I mean, if you're on that side, you got to get out of that. And if you're not, then you need to strengthen your path. But anyways, we're all talking about the same thing. So you need now to prepare the ground before Rosh Hashanah. And by the way, everything that I'm telling you now is not from a book. I didn't read a book. It's 22 years of doing tshuva. And I apply my systems that I come up with, and I see what works for me. Whatever works, then I come and give it over to you. Free. It's not even the beta part. It's the 2.0 you're getting. It's not like the beta version. So I can tell you from looking back 22 years, I test all the time what works, what doesn't work. That's it. Very simple. And I can tell you already, I shared that story yesterday in yesterday's lecture. I'm not going to repeat the whole story. But nevertheless, when you don't prepare yourself the right way on Elul, it doesn't matter what you're going to do. You're not going to come the right way to Rosh Hashanah. And if you need to, if you didn't hear yesterday's lecture, go hear yesterday's lecture. That's the beginning. I know it's 2 hours. Just the beginning when I'm sharing the story about Uman, where I understood clearly how I didn't put the right effort throughout Elul, and Rosh Hashanah was not as pleasant. And you know what? You can buy your world in 1 second. The Talmud says, Adam koneh et olamo berega. You can do tshuva in 1 second, and it's such deep tshuva that years of work won't be equivalent to that. But not everybody's on that level. Not everybody has the merit to do such level tshuva. You can come to Rosh Hashanah and really do serious change and affect the heavens in such a way that you will get the blessing like as if you did hard work on Elul. But that's usually not the case. Usually the effect of Elul will carry out throughout the year, and from my record, every time that I saw when Elul was good, the following year was good and successful. Whenever Elul was like that, then the following year wasn't that great. And I measure my success not by how much money I made that year. I measure my success by, first of all, how did I pass and deal with the challenges that I had throughout the year. That's my first mark of success. Did I deal with the challenges the right way? Was I successful? What is my average in the entire year? And then I measure my success if I was able to fulfill goals, desires, whatever that I put in my path, was I was ever able to succeed in that. I set myself a goal, or I set myself a certain path that I want to walk on. Was I successful? That's how I measure my success. And then I look, of course, back in my spiritual level, and I want to see if I grew. And if I grew that year, I feel that year was successful. And if I don't feel that I grew too much, then the year wasn't that successful. And again, money is at the end for me. How much money I made that year, if I had financial struggles or not. Everybody has financial struggles. You already have to understand that. And the more money you make, the more struggles you have, because the car is more expensive to maintain, and many other things. So don't put that in front of your vision, how much money you make, how you're making money. You go do your job and that's it. Or run your business the right way, and that's it. So the keys you need to focus on in your work, your labor in the field, is the effort. Don't focus on the result right now. Is how much effort you're putting, and you need to set it up, and you need to do everything tonight already. You need to do it already yesterday. Now I'm telling you what you need to do. Effort. And the next thing is what is my will? I'm doing it, and you have to this will take a lot of convincing. And your desire is to do something, you're doing it for Hashem. You're not saying, Hashem, I'm being a good Jew now, or a good Jewette, or a good Noahide, or whatever you are, because I want to get A, B, and C. I'm doing it, Hashem, because that's what you want me to do, and I didn't fulfill your desire and wish the last 30 years. You do everything for Hashem, without conditions. I'm doing this because I want that. You're doing, in the back of your mind, you can understand that if you do good in the eyes of Hashem, He will probably grant you what you need. And in many of the cases is what you want too. Hopefully throughout the month of Elul you can also reach to a level, we'll address that topic also, is how to get to a point that you're walking towards what is good for you and recognizing where something is not so good for you. You can pray for money at some point in your life, and Hashem says, no, right now money is not good for you. You're going to need to wait 10 years till I give you money. And there's good reasons for that. Why? Because right now I need you to focus on your relationship with your wife. You'll have a lot of money, you'll be busy with all your little toys. Or whatever. I'm just throwing you an example. Everything has its time. And when you try to bring something premature, you'll suffer tremendously from that. So don't pray for things that you think that you need. Pray and work towards the thing that you feel that is right for you and is good for you and what Hashem wants to do, and Hashem will fulfill the voids. Don't worry. Leave that to Hashem. But you need to focus on your effort. You need to have the right desire. I want to do it. I want to. That I cannot do for you. You're going to have to work on yourself. That's why I told you yesterday to write down a list. And many people didn't understand why to write down, because every day you're going to read this list. That's what I'm going to tell you to do, is to read every day the list. Now, if it's in your mind, what are you going to read? What are you going to go back to? You think you're going to think today and tomorrow and the next day the same thing? No. So now you want to make yourself a list. And by the way, you can add to that list as the day go. But the trick here is to now read that list every day. That you bring yourself to a place that you want to do the change. You know how I stopped all the bad habits that I had? Is I brought myself to a point that I wanted to get rid of it. And I'll give you a few examples. How I used to speak prior to me changing my way was not a nice way. Every word that came out of my mouth was some curse or some derogatory word or some foul language. And I'm not going to even say which word, no, the A word, the B word, all the letters, okay? Every sentence would have 50% curses. And every encounter that I would talk to people would always be in some derogatory way. Pass me the salt, you stupid whatever. Or you fat... Sorry that I'm saying like that. I want you to understand. How I spoke was not a nice way. With no respect to other people, with no respect to... That was the first thing that bothered me when I became observant, how I spoke. So I had to go now on a speaking diet. And I had to bring myself to a point that I dislike how I talk. So you know what I did? I recorded myself talking. Now today it's easy, you have an iPhone. 20 years ago I had to buy that, they had like these little tape recorders. You know that I still have some of them. That with the mini tapes. You know, all the old people in the crowd are like, oh yeah. The young ones are like, what mini? So once we had these tapes, and the big ones was videos, if you remember, the small ones was tape cassettes, and then you had like these little ones, like in the answering machines. Everybody's very young here. Everybody's like, answering machine? Is that like a service that answers your calls? No, it was a box that you would run to when you go, the same way that you run to your stupid phone to look at all your messages. We used to run to the answering machine when we came home, before the bathroom, by the way. And if the answering machine would blink, oh, and you see 9 messages, oh. And then the ID call came. Remember when first time when we would see who's calling us, you were able to screen calls. Caller ID, yeah. I don't even know how I got to the phone right now. What was I talking about?
Recording your language.
Thank you. Some people are listening. So how would I hear how I talk? I would record myself. I had this little tape recorder that like executives used to be like, Susie, order for me. So I used to pretend I'm some executive, and I had this recorder, and I would just let it play, let it record. And then I would play it, and I would hear how I sound, to a point that I was like, I was disgusted with how I talk. I'm just telling you one way how I would bring that about, but you need to want to get rid of what you dislike in your life. And that's part of the big change and the effort that you need to focus on. It doesn't mean you're going to be successful. If you wrote some stuff on your list and some of them will require a lot of hard work, it doesn't mean you're going to get rid of it in 2 days. You might have to work 2-3 months or maybe a year to get some unwanted thing in your life. I hope that on your list it's very important things and things that make sense, not some nonsense that you want to get rid of. But the reason I told you yesterday to write a list that you can read it every day, because you need the desire for the change. You need to understand that I need to change some stuff in my life. And of course, you have to understand that it will have to come with a lot of giving in. You gotta have to give some sacrifices. That's how things work in life. Without a sacrifice, nothing's gonna happen. But when I do all this, that's when Hashem will give me my blessing. Not because I pray and cry my eyes out, or that I donate a lot of money, or whatever you think is going to change the situation. I know the people towards the end of Elul, they donate a lot of money. Somebody donated to my organization a very large amount on Elul. We were shocked. Never such a donation came into my organization. And a few months later, he writes us an email that he did some tax calculation wrong and he needs the money back. So we told him, yeah, money's spent. What do you think, that we're investing it in the stocks? Money's spent. You give money, I buy food now to people. And later on, as we spoke, because he asked to speak to me, I told him, why did you donate the money? Because you wanted to feed poor people? You wanted Torah to be spread around the world? Did you want to help widows pay their bills? Why did you donate the money? Or did you donate the money because you wanted to find favor in the eyes of Hashem before Rosh Hashanah, and you thought you're going to convince him by giving him a lot of money to charity that he will score points? So he was honest enough to say, yeah, option B. So I said, and that's why now you need the money. That's it. You thought you're going to get a blessing by giving a lot of donation. He came and told me, listen, I'm in trouble. I need the money. So I said, well, first of all, the money is, you can say goodbye to the money. The money is already in the toilet. Sorry that I'm saying that. We give the money for food, it gets digested. Okay? What will remain is a very satisfied individual and Birkat Hamazon. That's what you gain. But other than that, you can go to the sewage. I don't know what you're going to find over there. But say thank you, you fed a lot of hungry people. That's it. But if you have an ulterior motive and you gave that money, you're thinking you can convince Hashem, you're not going to get nothing. Hashem is going to prove it to you that you're going to lack money. So you have to be very careful with how and what you do. But when you do it the right way, which means that it's genuine, and you're true to yourself, and you really want to get rid of bad things, and that's why I told you be very particular with this list. And the bad things you want to get rid of is very particular things that has to do with your spiritual growth. And you need to be very humble when you're preparing that list. And if you raise your voice too much at your spouse, or your kids, or your employees, or whatever, then write down in the list, I need to control my anger. I need to put my anger under control. That's something I want to get rid of. I'm very judgmental. I want to be much less judgmental. How can I become judging people in a more positive way? You have to be humble here. Listen, I can give you all the tools, how to do it, and that's it. You need to do it. It's not going to work another way. You have to bring yourself to a place of humility. I told you yesterday that on Rosh Chodesh you have a discount, and the month of Elul, it's easier to do that, to bring yourself to a place by saying, listen, who am I kidding? I'm not good here and I'm not good here. If I go now to most people and I'll tell them a husband or wife, doesn't matter. Do you think you are a good husband? Yeah. She should thank me every day. But the fact is, you're not such a good husband because you're not so patient, you're not considerate, you don't spoil her, you don't treat her nice, and in your eyes you think you're a great husband. So, of course, if I would ask you if you're a good husband, a good wife, a good father, you're doing this like this, of course you would give yourself the best grade. Of course, I'm the best. You're going to have to take that cape of arrogance off for 2 minutes and to understand that, let me look at myself with true eyes, with eyes of truth. And I told you that in many, many of my classes throughout the year, I have many different mantras in my mind when I need to do some type of change in my life, my own brainwashing. And one of my mantras, when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to a place that I need to bring myself to a place of humility, to see the true face of myself, then my mantra, my voice in my mind tells me, who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? You think you're such a great father? Who are you kidding? Look how you lashed out at your child yesterday because he spilled a cup of water and he got your pants wet. Like you screamed at him like as if I don't know what. And I'm just giving you one example. Not that I scream at my kids. I'm just giving you examples. And I would say to myself and still do, who are you kidding? You pretend you're such a great A, B, or C? Look at yourself with the right eyes. And I'm telling you, it's the most healthiest way to look at yourself. I don't tap myself on my back too much. I give the credit when it's due. Same with my rabbi. Never gives me a good word. At the beginning I was discouraged, but now I'm like, okay, I understand. That's not his job to tell me, oh, you're doing so good, Hashem loves you. His job is to tell me, you can do much better. That's it. I don't need a rabbi who tells me that I'm doing great. I need a rabbi who tells me, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. That's what I need to hear. And you too, by the way. You don't need a personal trainer that tells you how great you are. You need a personal trainer that tells you, move that tuchis, you wanted to burn that fat, kadim again on the treadmill and start running. And stop whining. That's it. That's what you need to seek in a I'll call it a personal trainer. But I'm not expecting compliments from my rabbi to tell me that I'm doing great. I need to hear where I'm doing bad. Every person needs compliments in a certain level, but the right way is don't seek for compliments. Just do what you need to do. Impress Hashem. Don't try to impress people around you. Compliments are important. It's good to give and to share. But I kind of like hearing from people around me where I don't do well. Needless to say, it's a higher level not to get upset at your wife or your kids or somebody who comes and tells you where you fail. Most people, they get upset when you do that. I told you once I had an employee who came and told me something bad that I did. Not like chas v'shalom, something mean or evil. Something that I did that wasn't 100% appropriate, wasn't such a good thing. And this individual comes and tells me that, which of course when the individual told me that bad thing that I did, luckily for me I had some type of resistance and I kept a serious face and respectfully said thank you for bringing this to my attention. I appreciate that you have the courage to come and tell me that. And I was very kind on the outside. But inside? Oh, what a volcano. Fire inside. I feel the bubbling of the volcano. I feel it in my brain like steam coming out of my nose. She didn't see it, but steam was coming out of my nose, my ears, my eyes. And in my thoughts are like, how dare she tell me that? Who does she think she is to tell me? But luckily I had a little bit of self-control to smile and patiently say thank you, I appreciate it. And without punching her in her face, I left. And then I sat in my office for about 2 hours so angry that I couldn't even function. My mind is... I couldn't talk, I couldn't think, I couldn't do nothing. I was angry, I was upset, but it took me about 2 hours to bring myself to a place of relax. First of all, relax, okay? First, relax. It's kind of like a Moroccan cookbook. You know how a Moroccan cookbook starts? קודם כל תירגעי. First, relax. And put the knife down. For the ones of you who don't know the Moroccan attitude, they're very angry, quick to anger. That's the joke. Like they say that certain ethnic groups are cheap, so they say the Moroccans are quick to anger. So the Moroccan cookbook, the Moroccans have very, very good food, but the cookbook starts with, first of all, relax. Of course, in Hebrew, the joke sounds much better. Especially if you have add the Moroccan accent. קודם כל תירגעי. So first of all, I told myself, קודם כל תירגע. Relax. No need to punch anyone. No need to now curse, break things, shout, throw things. Relax. Take a chill pill. And after 2 hours of a lot of hard work, I said, okay, why am I so angry? I'm angry, right? I can't function, I can't think. I want to open my mouth to do a comeback. You know, when somebody puts you on the spot and you're humiliated, you degraded, whatever, you are proved wrong, you want to shoot back your first arrow. And lucky for me, I was holding back. My mouth is deadly. When it opens the wrong way, move aside. So I asked myself for 2 hours, why are you so angry? And the conclusion that I came to, that she was right. And right away, the RPM went down from 9,000 a minute to, because I understood. Why am I angry? Because she's right. Learn how to accept the rebuke. Learn how to look at the mirror without breaking the mirror. You know, people come to you, all the people around you, I told you yesterday, are your mirrors. It's all reflections. And you want to get upset at the mirror, you're getting upset at yourself, you fool. Baal Shem Tov says, whatever you see in other people negative, that's what you have in yourself. It's a reflection. And then you're judgmental towards these people. That's why I told you, don't be judgmental towards people. Always judge a person favorably, because right now that person is doing you a favor and he's reflecting your junk on yourself. And now you see something negative in that person, but really it's you. It's what's negative in you. And if you're humble enough, you understand, thank you Hashem, you just showed me where I'm failing. Now add it to your list. You understand what you need to do for 30 days? The little things that you need to do is like I told you yesterday, and I will repeat that every day. Go to atzmut.org/Elul, and you have there a page that explains to you everything you need to do. What you need to read every day, how often. You just click on a button, it opens to you the page. You don't need to work too hard. There's certain things that you want to do in the month of Elul. I told you yesterday the acronym of Tshuva. First, you have to add increase in tefillot, in praying. That I don't need to teach you, but you have to increase in Torah. So the two things that you want to add every day in the month of Elul, for Torah, read one chapter of the book of Mishlei, of Proverbs, every day one. It's 31 chapters. It's all on my website, very clear for you to follow. And you want to read three chapters of Tehillim every day. And again, it's all organized. Just read the instructions. I'm not going to waste my time now on instructions. Go to that page. It has everything that you need to do. Whatever pray, whatever you need to recite. That's very little. How long would it take you? 10 minutes every day, 15 minutes, but you packed in your tefillah, your prayer, you packed in your Torah, your little Torah. Of course, anything above that is a blessing. And you packed in what I said yesterday, the taf, todah, thanking Hashem. That's it. You make a V, you make a check. But other than that, and don't worry, I told you, we're not in the dark. If you're interested, then follow. The next month there's going to be a lot of materials coming up. You need to be on one of my platforms. It's not going to come to you any other way. Don't email me, how do I find the video? You have to follow one of the platforms where we're going to post it. And some of you participated in stuff we did like that a few years ago. We did the 40-day journey and the little Tshuva boot camp and many other. It's going to be similar, different, but the point is just to get every day, you get your dose instead of getting it in one lecture. But you have to understand what's required from you. Where is your head faced in the next 30 days? And the next 30 days, you have to understand that every day you have a meeting with Hashem, and He's not now looking at your resume. You know why? Because you can lie on the resume. He wants to see you work. He's giving you a 30-day money-back guarantee. He says, "Why don't you work for 30 days? If I like how you work, you're hired." Can you imagine you would come to a place of work? And they would tell you, okay, we want a free month. You have to work for 1 month, and if you're good, we'll hire you. Would you accept such a job? Why are you not answering? Ha! Depends on the job. If you earn $5 million a month, you will give that 1 month free gladly. And you will be the shining star that month. Because it depends on the job. So you're going to give the effort in the month of Elul because you know that it depends on what's going to be the bracha. And with the back of your mind that I'm not doing it to gain anything. I'm not going to do A, B, and C because I need this, and this in my life. The equation is very simple. I want my life to be better. Period. Do you all agree with me up until now? Yes? Toda. On the live, everybody's agree? Everybody fell asleep on the internet too. Free Palestine, that's what I'm getting. Again? It's not in my hands. I don't have any control. Free Palestine. No, they're very bored people. Go educate yourself in something positive. Free Palestine. Yeah, you really bothered us right now. Now you convinced us. Guys, free Palestine, because Muhammad said right now. It's nonsense. If I would offer you such a job, you would take it, right? That's it. That is it. Don't come with some condition. I will do this because I need that. We all agree that we all want an upgrade. I'm not saying even a change right now. An upgrade in my life. Everybody will say yes. And if you're really on top of your game and you're looking at yourself with eyes of truth, of course you need that upgrade. You need a truckload of blessings in your life. Like I told you, I see hundreds and hundreds of people. Every day I'm somewhere else. Thousands of people contact me. I'm saying this like a broken record. From thousands of messages, very few messages are from people telling me, I just wanted to report everything's good. Most of the messages are just catastrophes. Nobody stands in line after the lecture for 2 hours to tell me, just Rabbi, I wanted to tell you, you're good looking. They're all standing there for 2 hours and telling me like a boatload of disasters in their life. Now out to the people, to the world, it's all smiles. Hi, hey! So we all need an upgrade in our life, correct? Free Palestine? Where is he? No, free, that's it. We freed Palestine. Okay. I think that everybody in line got frozen. But nevertheless, we all agree we need a change in our life. I don't see the change necessary because my life is negative. I'm looking at it as I constantly want to upgrade my life. So if I'm happy this level, I want to be more happy. If I'm successful with my path, I want to be more successful. If I have closeness to Hashem, I want to have more closeness. I'm not asking for anything materialistic or anything superficial. That's the upgrade I'm looking on constantly, because I constantly want to go up. My eyes are up all the time. Mi ale be'ar Hashem. Who's going to climb the mountain of Hashem? Says King David in Tehillim. I need to constantly grow and grow. So I constantly want to upgrade my life. And we all agree with that one way or another. So I know what brings me my upgrade to my life is the fact that I step forward and I come closer to Hashem, and I'm willing to give that 30 days free job because I know the reward from the Master of the Universe is unfathomable. So I don't come with conditions. I don't come, I'll do this and you do that and give me this. That's the attitude. But you have to understand that now 30 days Hashem wants to see if you're coming to work on time, if you're coming with your lunchbox or not, and how you work. He's not looking at your resume right now. The resume doesn't mean anything. In every situation that I had, I lied on resumes. Half of you probably also. Sometimes people come to work for me, I look at the resume, I'm like, wow, very creative. Who wrote that for you? Fiverr? So to lie, yeah, everybody can lie on the resume. And for you to understand the lying on the resume is me standing in Rosh Hashanah and promising Hashem the world. That's lying on your resume, by the way. I'm going to start praying every day in a minyan. You'll see. And I'm going to do this and this and that. The Chil Rabbak, 3 days it lasts. That's it. So that's lying on the resume, telling Hashem, I will do that. I'm going to pray and I'm going to give charity and I'm going to forgive and apologize to whoever. Bobkiss. Don't lie on the resume on Rosh Hashanah. Do that in the month of Elul. That's it. Do that in the month of Elul. That's how you're showing Hashem what you're willing to do, what you're worth, what you're willing to give in, what you're what you're willing to sacrifice. That's how you convince Hashem. And measure for measure. Whatever you do in Elul, that's what you're going to get the following year. I'm not telling you now that you're going to be rich next year and all day long weddings and healthy kids and you're still going to have a lot of challenges, by the way, but at least you're going to have the challenge and you're going to have a smile on your face. That's it. You're not getting rid of your challenges. You're not getting rid of your difficulties. That's your stepping ladder to go to a higher level. But everybody needs to be a little bit more healthier, a little bit less pressure with the finance, a little bit more guidance in my spiritual growth, much more comfortable and calm relationships, spouses, parents and so forth. I mean, everybody needs some sugar in their life to sweeten up all the bad and bitter situations that we live in. So that's it. If you want to get something, you need to give something. That's it. And now's the time for you to prove to the king how hard you're willing to work. And you know what's the key here? And that's what I like the most. And everything that I'm telling you is experience, not theory. The harder you work on Elul, showing to Hashem what you're willing to do, that same level will maintain throughout the entire year in a very easy way. Because you worked hard in Elul. Because you worked hard in the field. Now you're just enjoying the fruits of it. And what's the fruits? That whatever you worked hard during Elul for your spiritual growth, I'm not talking about anything else, the next entire year will be easy. You woke up every day hard. It took all your energy to wake up early, to go to say slichot into the minyan, and every day was a challenge, and half the times you failed and came late, but you did it with all your might, all your determination. The next year will be easy for you to wake up in the morning to go to the minyan early. Guarantee, I'm telling you, I'm saying that from looking back and analyzing the last 22 years. You have an odd problem with anger? This month, buy yourself these balls that they give Rottweilers and stuff it in your mouth. Okay? And every time somebody says something, bite that rubber ball, like my dog does, and shut up. And hold your anger. And you know what's going to happen the next year? It will be very easy for you to hold your anger. Because you put a lot of effort during Elul where Hashem is looking at you and He's so impressed. And He says, that's what you really want. I understand. You want to come first and early to pray. Oh, you want to work on your manners. Oh, you want to work on your midot, on your characteristics. Oh, you want to work on this and that. I see. I'll give it to you the next year. So first of all, you're upgrading yourself spiritually to levels that you wouldn't get by yourself. And once you're in a higher level spiritually, by default, Hashem gives you the things that you need so you can serve Him in a quiet, peaceful way. You come in from the back door. And once you're in a higher level spiritually, Hashem gives you the things that you need so you can serve Him. Where's Free Palestine? In here we go to the Palestines. Rabbi, thoughts on Palestines. We're talking about Elul right now. Sometimes I need to read this junk. It's, they tell me later that don't read. It's all like nonsense and junk. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty entertaining. Why don't you listen to the lecture instead of typing nonsense? Yeah, you. Either write notes. Why don't you listen to the lecture instead of... I like that echo. I think I'm going to ask YouTube to put an echo on my videos all the time. You get a double dose. It's like you listen to the lecture twice. See, this is the perfect example for you. Live example how Hashem works. You come to the lecture. What is this? Again with the... I was just reading some of the comments, that's why it's entertaining to me. You come to this is what I don't understand. You made the effort, you came to the lecture is already 118 minutes. It's 2 hours. Instead of listening and getting some points, people write their nonsense. It is entertaining. I need to read these... But this is a perfect example. People make the effort to come to the lecture. Instead of listening to the material, they write comments. That's you in the month of Elul. You come to the month of Elul, instead of doing what you need to do, you're full of fluff. So change it. Change it. You have a good opportunity. You're in the beginning of Elul. I want to meet you in the end of Elul, that you can tell me in a clear way, I gave it all I could. I did the best I could. And I'm telling you already, if you have the poison seed in your mind that you're doing it because you want to get something, it won't work. You know, I gave an example. I was last Shabbat in the synagogue, and the rabbi asked me to elaborate on something that happened to me 20 years ago that I shared in that synagogue. And I'm going to share it with you because I think it's a good example. The echo is actually annoying. Wow. Coffee with the rabbi. Yeah, you wish. Anyway, so 20 plus years ago, I got married, and we were very poor, my wife and me, very, very poor. Because my wife wanted me to learn Torah, and I learned in yeshiva, and we didn't have money, and that's what Hashem wanted. And I didn't care. I just was happy to learn Torah all day long. And then it was Yom Kippur, and on Yom Kippur, לא עכשיו. I didn't have any money. We were very, very poor. And needless to say, that was in the back of my mind is I needed money. So, the rabbi was selling there all the aliyot, opening of the ark and all that. And it was a very small shul, though, and not with a lot of money. It's not like in some shuls, the opening of the ark, $15,000. This was like a corner shul in the neighborhood. It was like maximum $3 for things. But nevertheless, then the rabbi came and said on Mincha of Yom Kippur that if you go up to the Aliyah of Maftir Yonah, it's a remedy to be rich. And I was like, ooh, that's something I need. So the rabbi was very clear. You buy the Maftir Yonah, you'll make a lot of money. I was like, okay, I'm in. So the bids started, $18, $36, 3 times high. It went up. Suddenly it went over the 3 digits, or 101. Some Bukharian said 101. And then it went to all sorts of weird numbers, 143 and 70 cents. It's Gematria, get out of here. Give me the money, show me the money, Gematria 232. Anyways, with all jokes aside, it started going higher and higher, 200, 300, 400, but I was determined, I'm getting this Maftir Yonah. Came already to 600, 700, 710, 720. It stopped at $770. I was already changing colors in my mind. I'm going to have to mop the floor of the shul for the next 3 years. I don't even know where I'm going to have money to buy this, but nevertheless, Rabbi said I'm going to make money, I'll make money. So, end of the Yom Kippur, I go home. My wife greets me after not seeing me 25 hours. That was the whole day in Yom Kippur in the shul. How are you? Great. How are you? Great. How was your prayers? That was great. And then she asked me if I feel that my prayers were meaningful and good. That, in other words, she was asking, do you think we're going to have a better year this year? So I told her, honey, I took care of everything. Don't worry. This year, really? What did you do? Told her, I went up to the Torah on Mincha. And she was like, that's it? I said, no. I bought the Maftir Yonah. Oh, what do you mean you bought it? Like, no, there was an auction. We're both newbies, right? We don't understand. And then she was like, how much did it cost you? And I was like, it doesn't matter. Money comes, money goes. No, how much did it cost? Honey, money between us and Hashem. What are you being greedy now with Hashem? It doesn't matter. How much did it cost? I told her it was $7.70. Oh, $7.07. And I was like, yeah. The dot is one more to the right. I almost got a divorce that night. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? We don't even have money to buy food. And I was like, no, but the rabbi said we'll make money. That year, I said, okay, if this is my goal, if this is my vision, that year we opened up a business. And no, I really needed to make money. 3 years we were very, very poor. I had already a child, and I didn't want to. The thing is that I didn't know what to do. It doesn't matter. I opened the business that year, and throughout the year, why am I saying to this story? Because I used to learn in yeshiva that every summer they used to go to the mountains in New York and be completely isolated. It was such a great experience that there wasn't even a cell phone service there. So for 2 months, you don't even have a phone. I would wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, go dip in the river, go and learn Torah all day long. I would come after Shacharit, come down, breakfast is on the table, come down from Mincha, lunch is on the table, come down from Arvit, dinner's on the table, gorgeous place. Birds squeaking all day long. No cell phones. No service. We had to go Friday to the nearest city to listen to messages. And that's when I started realizing everything that I told you in the last 2 hours. So the entire month of Elul, I said, okay, the level that I want to reach next year, that's what I'm going to do in Elul. And I put so much effort in that, in my work on Elul. And in my mind was, it's not about money. It's not because I need to get out of my poverty, my state of poverty. It's because that's what I need to do. That's what I understood. That's what happens when you immerse in Torah and you learn Torah all day long with nothing disturbing you. The spiritual enlightenments come to you like that. So I understood that what I need to wish, not for money. And why am I telling you this whole story? Because we were really poor. We didn't have money. We were literally living like that, and we listened with a big smile on my face because I learned Torah all day long. But what it sat as a burden, I need money, I need to make some parnasah here. But the attitude was not I'm going to do something because I need the money, the parnasah. I'm going to do it because that's what I need to do to go to the next level. By default, Hashem is going to give me what I need, and what He finds that's the amount that I need. So the entire month of Elul came a lot of effort. Everything that I disliked in my life, I worked hard to change it. I was focused on the target. That was my target. And then when came Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and all that, that was like the cherry on the top. I can tell you from experience that the level of observance that I put in the month of Elul remained the entire year. I had a very successful year spiritually in learning Torah and working on myself, refining myself. And since the success spiritually was very, very strong, because my entire target was what I need to do, not what I want or what I think I need. Because I brought myself to the understanding, I think I need money. No, not necessarily. But nevertheless, since the effort was genuine, the desire was real, the work that I did was in the level of what I wanted to achieve, with a little cherry on the top that I added this charitable act, because really I gave much more than what I could handle, which is not my personality. I give what I have. I don't give what I don't have. But there was the element of emunah. I believe Hashem is going to give me the money too. Because really, I know it sounds not a lot of money, but I was in a place that $770 was a lot of money. That was food for 3 months. So for me, it was a lot of money. So I was like, but I have the emunah that Hashem is going to fulfill it. And you know what happened that year? That year I opened the business, and at the end of the year when I did my taxes and all the calculations that I needed, not the fake taxes where people add on their expenses, every little thing. I did it real. You know how much I made that year? 77,000 exactly. 100 times more. Like Yitzchak, Vayizra Yitzchak b'shana hi 100 she'arim. Yitzchak planted in the field for the whole year. He worked out, and what was the result? 100 times 100 she'arim. And I'm not lying. I'll show you numbers if you need to. $77,000 that year, and this is going back 20 years ago. $77,000 20 years ago was a lot of money. Today you can really buy toilet paper, and that's what you can do with that. But 20 years ago, that was a nice salary. And why? And not because I went after the money. Because I went after the spiritual growth. What interests me was, where does Hashem want me to be? Not where I want to be. Where does Hashem want me to focus on? If Hashem wants me to be another year of poverty, then He will give it to me, and I'll still have a smile on my face. All the resolutions that you do on Rosh Hashanah, sorry to tell you, are worthless. That's lying on your resume. Don't do resolutions on Rosh Hashanah. Do the acts on Elul. That's it. That's how you do it. And when you're already doing it on Elul, then even if it's not perfect, but you have to strive to focus on the effort, not the level of success. That's what you need to put all you have. You just want to show Hashem, that's my will. My will is not A, B, and C, which is superficial or not necessarily I will get it or is good for me. My will is to be good with you, Hashem, to elevate myself, to refine myself. Hashem will give you everything that is missing. From that year, I'm telling you, that's what I learned, everything that I'm telling you, and then practiced it. If you focused throughout the month of Elul, or Rosh Hashanah, or Yom Kippur, Hashem, I need this, and I need money, and I want to get married, and I need this, and I need that. You might get it, but not in the way that Hashem wants to give it to you. Not for nothing in the Anava Bible is the more you ask, the less you get. That's what I apply. I tell Hashem one time what I need, and that's it. Once in a blue moon, I will pray for something that is very, very big. So, you have to understand that even if you don't do it perfect, you just need in this month to plant, and to plant, and to plant. Efforts. Your efforts is planting. You understand the equation, the math here? Your efforts is your planting. That's it. And the efforts are genuine. What you planted, you will sow unbelievable products. And those products will be your success in whatever you need to be successful. You put the effort in your spiritual growth, Hashem is going to make you successful where you need to. In the next month, I'm going to start sharing and teaching one of my favorite teachings in the Torah. It's called the Letters of the Nachmanides. It's not even a book. It's a letter with 2 pages. That if you really, really follow that, I guarantee to you a great life. And one of the first things that he says there, which I will go through the entire letter and explain it. But one of the first things that he says there, Hashpel atzmecha v'inasecha hamakom. Humble yourself, and Hashem is going to raise you. That's all required from you. Just humble yourself. Hashem is going to raise you to the level that you need to get to. You think that your business, you want to make $1 million. Hashem says, what are you talking about? Your business is destined to make 100 million. Why are you asking $1 million? I'm willing to give 100 million. But you focus on the million, you're not going to get that too. Humble yourself. Work on your midot. Work on your characteristics. Work on your character traits. How you talk. How you behave. Your manners. Refine yourself. Get yourself to a level that you can work in front of Hashem and impress Him. Hashem will cover all the missing pieces. You just need to show Hashem your will and plant and plant and plant and plant. That's it. Let Hashem grow whatever He wants to grow. That's Hashem's blessing. The more your effort is genuine, let Hashem rain His blessing on your field and grow the perfect product for you. But without any ulterior motive, without calculations, without conditions, I want this because I need that. Try it once. Try to do something for Hashem. That's why I told you yesterday, the foundation of tshuva, the taf of the tshuva is Torah, tefillah, learning Torah, applying prayers, and the last was Todah. Thank Hashem. So you thank Hashem with your words. Thank you, Hashem. Don't overdo it because you sound fake. Okay? And don't put the song Thank You Hashem and think that that's how you're thanking Hashem. Thank you Hashem. I come to Florida, all the women in Range Rovers. Thank you Hashem. Of course you're thanking Hashem. You're in a Range Rover. But nevertheless, I'm joking. Drive whatever you want. I can care less. I would probably thank Hashem driving a Range Rover, but that's a different thing. But nevertheless, what I'm trying to say is don't be fake. And in this case, don't fake it till you make it. Be genuine. Thank Hashem. And I told you yesterday how I thank Hashem. I don't tell Him thank you. I do a kind act that has nothing to benefit me in any type of a way. That's called L'Shem Shamayim. I'm going to help this individual. I'm not asking for anything, any reward, any money, any kavod, any honor, anything. I'm doing it for the sake of doing this good act. Do that every day of your life. I guarantee to you, Hashem is going to pour a lot of sugar on the bitterness of things in your life. when you're willing to do a nice act, and I'm not telling you now to donate your kidney, I'm telling you to do a nice act. And sometimes it can be just patience with a person that now is having a bad day. That's it, and moving aside a little bit, and lowering your voice, or whatever it is. But you need to have a completely different attitude. If you're not going to change the attitude, it's not going to work. If you are impressed by everything that you heard tonight, it doesn't end here, because I go back home in a few days. You're going to need to put a lot of hard work. If you are focused and targeted, then do it yourself. But if not, then follow me on WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook or one of the other pits of hell that you are on. Or just register to my email list, whatever it is. But that you can get the information fast. A lot of people send us messages, I didn't get the video. Excuse me? You want me to send you now a video to your email? Go to YouTube, watch it over there. Oh, I didn't know it's on YouTube. Okay. So, I wonder if the people online hear the echo. It's extremely annoying, but I think we got rid of the Free Palestine. You can't donate your kidney. You don't need to donate a kidney. Gaza restaurants are tough. You think the volume is what's doing the echo? But maybe then they're not going to hear me. Anyways, we're finishing in 3 seconds. Now it all depends on you how you leave this bungalow now. Maybe, the viewers can't see the bungalow. The bungalow like this is huge. Luckily there's no mosquitoes. I don't know how they got that to happen. But that's pretty amazing, huh? That's Torah for you. The Torah is pushing the mosquitoes outside. Other than that, I don't know how there's no mosquitoes here. And neither one, now you start scratching. You have the mosquitoes. Where are they? 2 hours I'm here. I didn't see anybody like this, so no mosquitoes, right? That's what the power of Torah. And then we don't getting much cool breeze. Technically we'll go into the synagogue and pray. We'll calm down a little bit, but listen, with all the jokes, with all the examples in it, our sages say, "Hama'aseu ha'ikar." The act is what counts. Or how they say in America, talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? So now it's required from you to do the walk. I can't do it for you. I can explain, I can guide, I can inspire, I can elaborate on whatever, use all my experience to bring whatever I can. But I can't do it for you. You're going to have to do that. You are going to have to bring yourself to a point that you're saying, I want to do it, not I have to, or I don't have any other option. That's not the attitude I like hearing. I don't have any option. Then you already surrendered and failed. Or because I want this or that. No, I'm doing it because that's what I want to do. And I understand that it's the right thing for me to do. Can you imagine now a 9-year-old kid comes to the parents at the end of the night and says, "Mama, I want to brush my teeth. I want to take care of my teeth. Please don't give me that candy anymore. I really want to take care of my teeth, and it's not good for my health. Can you maybe give me some vegetables instead of giving me this junk that you're feeding me?" Now, usually it's the kids that give me more treats and more food coloring and more sugar. It's the other way around. So you think Hashem is going to come and tell you, I need you to be kind, I need you to be patient, I need to be less judgmental? You have to come to tell Hashem, Hashem, you created me with these character traits. I'm not interested in them. I want to get rid of them. That's why I told you in the list that I told you to write yesterday is not to write that you need a better car or you're not happy with the color that the Mercedes Razan bought you. Write important things that you understand and you realize that are stumbling blocks in your spiritual growth. Write things like, help me Hashem forgive this individual that is driving me crazy or doing whatever they're doing to me, and give me the power to overcome this challenge and that challenge. But it all depends on you. It's what you take from this class tonight, how you leave this class. You can either write comments to Free Palestine or apply it. And by the way, my message is to also the Palestinians, by the way. You're asking me what's my opinion on the Palestinians. They should listen to what I just said and do tshuva too. Yeah, no difference. It's the Rosh Hashanah is for all the world. It's not just for Jews. It's the entire world. Jews, non-Jews. And you think I have issues with the Palestinians? No. The Palestinians, we have to understand we have issues with Hashem. Palestinians is just Hashem sending them to bother us. I don't have any issue with them. I know that when I have such a thing bothering me or my nation or my country, we have a problem with God. That He's sending us that. Measure up with God, we're not going to have Palestinians bothering us. When enemies come to attack me, I'm not going against the enemies. I'm going and looking to Hashem. Why is He sending me people to bother me? If you're asking already my opinion on Palestinians, it's irrelevant at this point. What's relevant is what you do with that. It doesn't matter who you are, how observant you are, if you're a Jew or non-Jew, if you believe in Hashem this much or this much. This is global to every living soul. You want it to affect your life in a certain way, watch this video 50 times, that's it. You don't think you're guided enough, then follow all my platforms. I highly recommend the most is WhatsApp because it comes directly to your phone, and other platforms block things, move things, whether it's Instagram, Facebook. That's it. I'm going to post as much as material as I can to help and guide and teach whatever you need, but it all depends on you. If you go out now without a massive big change in your mind, nothing's going to happen because Amalek is waiting out there. He's going to cool you down. Now you're all inspired here. We're sitting in this little igloo, good energy, crickets in the back, Free Palestine in the front. We're all laughing and enjoying great water. Don't take this energy and throw it out. I'm joking and all the jokes are good. The jokes is to get you to a higher level. You're more relaxed when you're laughing. You're not uptight that I'm going to throw in you some bomb now and tell you the world is about to be destroyed and the next pandemic. No. Don't worry, Hashem is going to do a lot of interesting things in the next few months and few years. You don't need me to come and say that. You saw that yourself and just wait and see. Now we want to take this good, strong, happy vibe and energy and to apply that today you go home and you're saying, okay, I want to gain that level. And I don't want Hashem, you don't have to give me anything. I'm not doing it to gain anything. I'm doing it because that's what Hashem wants me to do. Apply that once in your life, you'll be shocked how Hashem gives you in an abundance what you need and what you want. That's how it works. When you say no to something, take! No, it's okay, I have a few. Take! No, but I have already. Take 2! Okay, give me 3. But that's where you want to get to a point that Hashem is for. Take! I want to give you happiness and joy and money and a spouse and kids and health. So like I told you, it all depends on you. I can give you the titles, I can explain the words, and you need to walk on the path. And you need to do the change. And my main message that I can give you is that this year, don't be asking. Don't be begging. Don't be whining. This year, don't be asking. This year, just be doing. That's what my father told me when I was 15. In Hebrew, it sounds much better. Ma lasot? What should I do? Lasot. What should I do? Do. Don't ask too many questions. Just do. And now's your opportunity. 30 days of Elul, just do. Don't let it go between your hands, because you all know that you're going to hear from me a lecture 2 days before Rosh Hashanah, and you'll be like, he was right. Don't let the opportunity go through your hands. You can't really convince Hashem how great you're willing to be and how much sacrifice you're willing to do in 3 days. It's not going to work. You want something change in your life, you want improvement, you want blessing in your life, then I'm telling you, The switch in your mind is that it's going to have to come with sacrifices. You decide what you're willing to sacrifice. Your sleeping hours, the hours that you're spending on a phone with no destination, junk. You decide what you're doing with how you're utilizing your time. You decide what's the priorities in your life. Some people running after money. Some people, their priority is to refine their speech and to refine their midot. And all that's going on in their mind 24/7 is how can I be nicer next time when I have some encounter, and be a little bit more considerate and be a little bit more patient and a little bit more thoughtful and thinking of another person rather than myself. This year, don't ask. This year, you do.
Thank you.
And I'm going to bless you that Hashem should bestow on you His great light and bless you with great success in everything positive that you decide to do. And He should give you strong positive feedback that when you're going on the right path, it would be obvious to you. And Hashem should give you the right approach to see the good in everything and how He wants to bless you and what's the right thing for you to do and where you need to put your focus. And the ultimate blessing is that Hashem should bring you to the right place, that you know what you need to do clearly in the next 30 days. So that will be the effort that you're plowing and you're sowing and you're planting. The next year, the bracha will just be growing by itself. You're not going to have to do much because you're going to be focused on your spiritual growth, on your spiritual connection, on your closeness to Hashem. And that's it. That's what you want to get to. And now you have an opportunity, because every day that passes, your power of success is less. I'm going to give you one analogy. I don't even know why this analogy came up to my mind. Maybe there's one person online that's going to listen now that he knows what I'm talking about. This individual, of course, I'm sure you're online. It's funny that this is the example, but he trades in the market, in the stock markets. And in this particular case, you can buy a stock, let's say for $10 a stock, okay? And then it starts going up and you're very happy with its motion, so you start buying more. But in the beginning, you bought it for $10, then it went up to $13, you want to buy more, so you bought more in $13, then you bought more in $17. Eventually, what it will tell you is what's the average cost per share that you did throughout the entire time, right? Sometimes you bought it for $10, sometimes for $13, sometimes for $17, but the average will be 14.67. That's your average, how much you spend for the stock at the end of the day, and then you calculate your profits. You're laughing, right? I know you're laughing. This is the same thing what you want to do throughout the month of Elul, is that you have an average of everything, not how much you spent in every time. You put an average of everything. So I really hope that you will take every word that was said tonight and will apply it and realize that the real blessing that Hashem wants to give you is waiting for you. You just need to put the effort. The effort needs to be genuine. You need to bring yourself, like I told you, that's why I told you yesterday to write a piece of paper, is to read the things you're constantly going to read them. And you want to bring yourself to a point that I don't want that in my life anymore, and I want to change. And I guarantee to you that you apply what I'm telling you, you're going to have a very, very blessed year. And the following year, hopefully you'll be convinced you'll have even a better year and a better year, and your point will be to come closer and closer to Hashem. So I want to thank you again for coming, for also the ones online, even the ones with Free Palestine. I'm thanking you too. Hopefully you'll do tshuva. You're laughing, but I did meet a few that eventually they did tshuva. Okay, listen, everybody has a place to do tshuva. But with all jokes aside, I want to thank you and bless you at the same time. Hashem bless you with a successful year, happy, sweet new year. Hashem should fulfill all your desires, all your wishes, and bless you with everything that you need in order to serve Him in the best way possible.